What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV and welcome back to an international roundup. Seeing as international break is coming to a close, every Spurs player has made their international appearances, so we're going to tell you how they got on international break, starting off with England, where Dyer, Kane and Fraser Forster were all called up for 2 games. First game was England 2, Italy 1, where Kane played 90 minutes and broke the England all-time record goal scorer, Wayne Rooney. Dyer and Forster were unused subs, and they also beat Ukraine 2-0, where Kane played 81 minutes in the game, got another goal, and Dyer and Forster were unused subs. Did you get to see much of the games?
Yeah, I was watching a bit of the Ukraine game. I thought Kane actually played really well in that game, was linking up really well with Bukayo Saka, was unlucky not to get more than a goal on the day, and I thought he...
that link up for his goal, wasn't it? It was brilliant.
Yeah, really good stuff. Really good switch of play to Saka, and Saka found him back at the back post. And I thought against Italy, I thought he really led by example. Obviously a really good penalty, and I thought he was unlucky again on both occasions. He only came away with 1 goal, could have come away with more. And what a moment for him. You saw how much it meant to him, breaking that England goal scoring record. It was a massive moment for him, and obviously he got to parade his golden boot trophy for breaking the record before the Ukraine game. But I thought he's had a really good international break. I thought he looked really sharp again, and was vital in both victories, in my opinion.
All right, let's move on to Denmark, as Pierre-Emil Højbjerg played 90 minutes for them. First one in a 3-1 win against Finland. In the second one was a 3-2 loss against Kazakhstan, where they were 2-0 up on the day. But that striker, that Atalanta striker for Denmark, made all the headlines this week, Højlund, scoring, I think, 5 goals across the 2 games. Yeah,
the 20-year-old, and he looks like a real prospect at the moment. Some really good finishes in there. I didn't get to see much of the Denmark game, but I know in the 3-2 loss to Kazakhstan, they were 2-0 up, and they were 2-0 up with 15 minutes to go.
Really?
Yeah,
15 minutes
and they ended up conceding 3 goals in the last 15 minutes, including a unbelievable 30-yard strike from one of the Kazakhstan players. But look, Højbjerg, the main thing was he spoke about the whole Conte thing while he was away, didn't he? Because maybe he feels more comfortable speaking. A lot of players do on international duty when they go away, and he was like kind of implying that he wasn't too happy with what Conte had to say. But hopefully he comes back in good form, because we know sometimes he can come back from international duty and a bit leggy. So hopefully he can recover well for Monday.
Yeah, we're going to need him, that's for sure. Next up, Argentina, Christian Romero. Argentina 2, Panama 0. Romero played 90 minutes. Giovanni Lo Celso was an unused sub. And last night they beat Curacao 7-0. Lionel Messi scoring a first half hat-trick. Giovanni Lo Celso providing 2 assists, and Cuti Romero being an unused sub.
Oh, that's good. So he got some time to rest, which is vital. We know he's such a crucial player for Argentina. We saw at the World Cup, even though like he had a bad start, like they got him back in the team as soon as possible, as quick as they could, because he's such a vital player for them. And so I'm glad that they took this opportunity to give him a rest in this game, and hopefully he'll be fresh for the game on Monday. But I'm happy about that.
Next up, South Korea and Heung-min Son. First game, they drew 2-2 with Colombia in an international friendly. Sonny played 90 minutes and scoring 2 goals. Another free kick for South Korea, which makes me think, like, why the hell has he not been on free kicks for long for us? I mean, how many? You could probably count on your hand how many free kicks he's taken in the last couple of years. But it was Jurgen Klinsmann, obviously former Spurs player, first game in charge for South Korea as well, so he got Sonny off to a flying start. And then the second game, they lost to Uruguay 2-1, where Sonny's played 90 minutes but no goals.
Yeah, and apparently what's his name, Kangin Lee, from the young South Korean playmaker who played well in the World Cup, apparently had a brilliant game in the second one, and Klinsmann said after the game the only way Uruguay could stop him was to foul him, and he's going to be the future of South Korea, and he's been linked with Tottenham quite a bit, so one to watch out for. But yeah, good Sonny's got a good couple of goals. They were both outside the box as well. The first one was a left-footed strike, which the keeper went a bit walkabouts, and he managed to score an open goal, and then obviously another free kick, and it's kind of farcical.
Was it Ospina in goal?
I'm not sure who's in goal for Colombia, to be honest, but it's kind of farcical how many free kicks he has been scoring for South Korea. I think that's his third free kick on international duty over the last few months, and it's just laughable seeing him stick away free kick after free kick, and he can't get one for Tottenham. It's just a joke, and hopefully we get to have him take a few more, but some good quality from him. Hopefully that can give him a good boost going to the latter part of the season.
Yeah, let's hope so. Colombia and Davinson Sanchez, Korea, like the game I just said, Korea 2, Colombia 2. Davinson Sanchez was an unused sub. And then he did play 90 minutes in their 2-1 win over Japan. So he gets some match practice there. Pape Matar Sarr played 65 minutes in Senegal's 5-1 win over Mozambique. In the reverse fixture where Senegal beat Mozambique 1-0 away from home, Pape Matar Sarr played 63 minutes. I assume you didn't see much of that.
Not much, no, unfortunately.
And Dejan Kulusevski played 90 minutes in a 3-0 loss for Sweden against Belgium. And he played 82 minutes in a 5-0 win over Azerbaijan. No goal contributions for Kulusevski in either of those games.
Although I was watching, so I saw some of the highlights of the game against Belgium, and he was brilliant. Kulusevski, he was really like a shining light from a poor performance from Sweden overall, but he nearly scored a goal. He cut inside two players and shot at the near post, and it was only a really good clearance off the line which prevented him scoring a goal, and then he set up a chance.
I saw that actually, yeah.
And then he set up a chance in the second half as well, which Sweden really should have scored. So he was unlucky, I would say, to have ended the international break with no goal contributions.
Next up, Ivan Perisic played 90 minutes in Croatia's 1-1 draw with Wales in their first game. In their second game, he played 90 minutes but went off in stoppage time in a 2-0 win away at Turkey, and it looks like he does have an injury. So after the Emerson news that we brought you a few days ago, now another wing-back has gone down injured.
Yeah, let's hope it's not serious, because if he's out for Monday, then we're seriously we have run out of options if he's out in terms of wing back. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to have to be really creative when it comes to our problem solving, because with Perisic, look, to be honest, it didn't look very good from the video. It didn't look like he was going to be ready for Monday, but we can just pray it's not serious. But if he is out, literally Sessegnon out, Perisic out, Emerson out, Porro as well. We'll get on to Porro later, but who are we going to play? I don't know who we're going to play. Apparently Sessegnon might be back in a week's time, but he won't be ready for Monday. So I don't know who we're going to play on Monday on the left.
Well, Conte has spoken. I know he's not a manager anymore, but Conte has spoken previously about the potential to use Kulusevski and Lucas Moura at wing back. So maybe we'll have to go with that.
Might have to.
Next up is Pedro Porro. First game, Spain beat Norway 3-0, and Porro was an unused sub, and he got his minutes in a 2-0 loss to Scotland, which was probably the surprise of international break. He played the first 45 minutes, was massively at fault for Scotland's first goal, and he got hauled off at half-time.
Yeah, there's conflicting things. Some people say he got hauled off because he had a knock, and then some people say he didn't have a knock. It was just a tactical substitution. So I'm not 100% sure which is which, but it's fair to say he did have a very poor first half, and especially in the beginning of the game, he looked a bit similar to his start of against Leicester. Like right at the beginning of the game, he just looked kind of shell-shocked a bit. He was kind of caught cold that the mistake he had for the first goal. He had the ball with his feet. He was like walking backwards towards his own goal line, towards his own not goal line, towards the goal kick line, and the byline. That's the word. And he kind of just got caught on the ball. He slipped, got tackled, and they ended up punishing him for his error, and it led to a goal. From what I've heard, he did improve a bit after that moment, but still didn't quite recover from that mistake. And then obviously half-time, he did get hauled off. He did get Andy Robertson did get booked for a foul on him. So there are people saying that caused him to have a knock, and that's why I went off. But it might have just been tactical as well, because he did have a very poor first half.
Well, if he does have a knock and he's out for Monday, that leaves us with zero wing backs going into that Everton game. And it brings me back to the Matt Doherty thing once again. It was just like...
Even if we had Matt Doherty, would still be short. That's how mad it is.
That's the thing.
That's how mad it is.
Mental, absolutely mental. But let's move on to Brazil and Emerson Royale, as they lost 2-1 to Morocco. And Emerson, like we said, was taken off injured in the last minute of stoppage time in that game. And he's going to need surgery. He's going to be out for the majority, if not all the season. And moving on to the last two games, Ireland beat Latvia 3-2. Troy Parrott was a sub for the last 17 minutes. And then they also lost 1-0 to France, where he was not even in the squad. It was actually a really weird situation. After that Latvia game, they actually they omitted 4 players from the squad. I think it was Troy Parrott, Robbie Brady, and 2 others. And I just don't understand why.
It's very strange. Was one a friendly and one a qualifier, or they were both qualifiers?
That I don't know. I'm not too sure, to be honest.
It's very peculiar. Why? Because maybe there's different rules for how many people you can have on the bench for a qualifier and a friendly, and maybe that's all I can think of. But otherwise, I can't think of why they would admit 4 players from one squad to another. It's very strange.
It is a strange one. I'll just try.
But Ireland, I was watching a bit of the Ireland-France game. They gave a good go, to be fair. Ireland, they nearly nicked a point in that game. They were very unlucky not to, but France just about held on for the victory. Great save by Mike Maignan, who's obviously taken over from Lloris as the France #1, and he showed his quality in that moment right in the last minute. But Evan Ferguson obviously started and actually played quite well during the game.
Yeah, and now like you're looking at Evan Ferguson and comparing him to Troy Parrott, right? And Troy Parrott is what got at least
couple
3
of years
years
on him, yeah.
At least 3 years. And Evan Ferguson just looks so much more physically dominant, more ready for men's football. And it looks like he's leapfrogged him already.
Definitely. I mean, he's getting starts against that quality opposition and actually looking decent. So, different league at the moment to Parrott, it seems.
Yeah, and you're completely right, by the way. The Latvia game was a friendly and the France one was a European qualifier. So that kind of makes sense. And last but not least, England under-21s beat France 4-0. Skip playing 72 minutes, Jed Spence playing 78 minutes. And last night, I was actually watching some of this game as England under-21s lost to Croatia under-21s 2-1. Skip was an unused sub and Spence came on for the last half an hour. So there you have it. That is your international roundup. Club football is on its way back. Spurs don't play till Monday night, so a bit of a wait there to see Spurs play, but I'm sure you can wait for Spurs
at the
to
moment,
come back.
it's not a bad thing, it could be longer, hopefully.
But let us know if you watch any of the Spurs boys out on international duty. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. But thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on.